Another problem that will not go away continues to get worse. The amount of drugs pouring over the U.S. border that are coming from the Mexican drug cartels. We've also told you that fentanyl overdoses are now the leading cause of death for 18 to 45-year-olds. Leading cause of death, 40,000 Americans, our youngest and best case and best hope for the future, are dying. That also includes those in the armed services. Nearly 24 soldiers at Fort Bragg have died over the past 2 years as a result of drug overdoses or complications from it. Home of the airborne. Just this past weekend, nearly 300,000 fentanyl pills were seized at one port of entry in Arizona, along with more than 6 pounds of meth. Just one of the nation's ports. NewsNation border correspondent Ali Bradley with us on this. Is trying to catch this at the border even a meaningful dent, or what we do catch at the border, a meaningful dent in the amount of drugs that are flowing in?
It's hard to say, Leland. I mean, I can tell you that the majority of the drugs seized are at the port of entries. They're not necessarily being, coming in with migrants or anything like that. Over the last 3 days, they found 100 pills. Border Patrol did. So there's that situation. But when you look at, is there even a dent? We know that these pills, these candy-colored pills that look like Smarties, they're making their way into 18 different states, according to the DEA. And I actually talked to a sheriff in the Tucson sector, which is where these are all being found. These are being found in Nogales for the most part, at the port of entry there. And when I talked to the sheriff, he was saying that there is a profit and loss margin that basically the cartel will work within. And there's the window is about 10%. So if we're at 4 million pills that we've basically apprehended at this point, we've seen, I'm going to say 4 million pills since last month is what we've really seen come across just in Nogales. And he's saying that with that means that even more is coming in because they still have a business to run. And if that many pills are being seized, then there's a lot more coming in that we don't even know about.
In terms of these pills that we hear about, we talk about this with overdoses, but particularly with the soldiers at Fort Bragg who aren't necessarily junkies, but are using this recreationally and then OD. How does it work with the cartels that them killing their own customers doesn't really seem that good for business?
It doesn't really seem that good for business. It seems like the opposite effect, right? You wouldn't think that would be their MO, but I think that getting the drugs into the United States is the plan and is the goal. So if they're doing it, they're capitalizing off of vulnerable people. They're using vulnerable people that maybe are without that, have less money, things like that they can use as drug smugglers. But I'll tell you this, Leland, the majority of these drug smugglers are going to be Mexican nationals that pretty much can come and go across the border. That's what they're seeing in Nogales. So right now, when you're looking at why are they killing their own customer, I don't really know the answer to that. And that is kind of the million-dollar question because it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, and oftentimes it's not like manufacturing a brand name drug with what's regulated, what's made in some Mexican labs a little different. Ali, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Coming up, thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.